For those of us out there who were blessed to have children, I want you to guard those children. I want you to protect those children. I want you to educate those children. In the first place, I want you to guard those children because there are so many things coming at children today. You hear people say that women are the most unprotected people in the world. I beg to differ. Children are. Children are being bombarded with so much today, whether it's the phones or different apps or whether it's things at the schools. There are so many things that are going on today as it pertains to children, and you need to guard them from it. When you think about those who are dealing with sex trafficking or those who are dealing with sacrificing children, there are literal people that do this, my friends. There are those who sacrifice children, my friend. They really do this. And some people, just like in the old Bible days, feel that if you sacrifice children, that you will gain some type of power. Well, why do they feel this? They feel this because that children have a level of innocence. Children have a level of purity. And so they feel if they kill the child, they can extract that particular level of purity or innocence from them. They even go so far as to believe that they can extract their youth from them as well. And I find that very interesting, but it's true. And so you may have somebody, now this is nasty, but you may have somebody that want to eat the child's remains, or you may have somebody that wants to drink the blood of a child. And so these types of things are very extreme, but I'm telling you, my friends, these type of people do exist in the world. And so I want you to guard your children from these very things. Guard them from the certain type of people that they may come in contact with, because you never know who may mean them well and who may mean them harm. When you're allowing your children to go over various people's houses, when you're allowing them to go to certain events or certain parties or giving them so much leeway. I know certain people will throw events to where they allow their children to bring all their friends to hotels and do all these certain types of things to give their child a level of identity or some type of privacy or some type of, sense of being on their own. But I'm going to tell you, my friend, you need to stand in the gap and guard your children because there are so many things that are coming at them. And when it comes to the police aspect, a lot of these children are going into jail or going into juvenile situations, juvenile prisons, because they are guilty by association. They're in the wrong place at the wrong time. So many children, I can speak to you right now because I've spoken at many schools to where these children are getting killed out here because they're around certain individuals or they're at certain parties or certain events and they're getting gunned down from stray bullets or being in the wrong place. I know one incident of a person getting gunned down for mistaken identity, thinking that this is some person that is truly not, and that person got killed. And so I want you to guard your children. Not only that, but I want you to protect your children. And so the way that you protect your children is you protect them in a way by training them on what to do and what not to do in situations. See, so many of us are guided by our emotions today. And your emotions, if you lead with them, will put you in a lot of bad situations. We know that as adults. And so you can't always lead with a hot head or lead with anger or lead with a quick mouth to say something. Sometimes it's best to teach our children and even teach ourselves to be reserved, to be observant, because when you are, you'll be able to observe, does this person have a weapon? Does this person have some people waiting on the side with them? Do they have some type of ill will toward me? We can teach our children how to read body language. We can even teach our children about self-defense. See, when we teach them about self-defense, whether that's learning some type of martial arts or karate or hand-to-hand combat, I love what is it, Car McGraw? I can't remember the exact way it's pronounced, but you see it in a lot of movies. Um, and so it's very good when it comes to self-defense, hand-to-hand combat. These are things that you can start off with small. You know, we teach our children about stranger danger. We teach our children, about yelling for help, going to somebody that's bigger than them, or going to an adult, somebody that can get them out of a situation. And then we also teach them, hey, you need some type of way to use your device to be able to call 911 or to alert somebody or have a routine that you do. Put them in these situations. I remember when my wife was alive, she had these things set up to where all the children, my stepchildren, would have all the numbers of every important person that they needed to call. And so they would memorize those numbers because they may not always be able to have a phone at hand. It also was a routine for them. If a fire broke out, they knew where to go and what to do. If they didn't have a key to get inside the house, they knew exactly what house in the neighborhood that they could go to that was a friend that would be able to assist them and to be able to call mom and dad. And these things come in handy. If you need to teach them about CPR, or you need to teach them about, hey, if mama fall down and hurt herself, or whatever the situation may be, equip your children, because the last thing you want them to do is to be set out or put out into the world and they're not equipped to handle themselves. So many times we look at schools as our little school teacher, or we look at them as our babysitter to take care of our children. And so you put your children out there and they're not being equipped to handle bullies. They're not being equipped to handle nasty words that are being said to them. They're not being equipped on how to take somebody talking about their clothes, which may not be no name brand. They're not being equipped to somebody trying to steal their money or takes their belongings. They're not being equipped for all these different things. And so it is your job to protect them in a way that will teach them situational awareness, situational ethics on what to do and what not to do in any given situation. And so it is our job to do that. It's not just a man's job to do that. It's also a woman's job to do that. She can teach them the nurturing side things to where they can nurture others, they can help others, they can encourage others to where that needs to happen. Because there's a situation down here that happened in Mississippi that I hate that it happened, but it's a true story where a young lady had basically killed herself. She committed suicide at one of these prominent schools up here, and it affected the children. When I went to go speak to them, they all remember her because it was time for them to graduate. And so it affected all those children in a major way because you know what? They had to look around in their class and see that the person that started with them back in middle school or elementary leading up to high school is no longer with them. The person that started with them in freshman year is no longer with them. And the reason that they were gone was at their own hands. They committed suicide. This child tried to go to teachers. This child tried to go to other students, but they felt alone. And this is why we have to equip our children and protect them and not just brush them off. Don't just let them sit there on their video games. Don't just let them sit there like a zombie watching TV. Don't just let them go and run and play outside and you on your phone and you doing something else. Be active with them. Because I'm telling you, my friends, if we are not vigilant, if we are not paying attention to our children and their whereabouts and what they got going on, we will regret it in some shape or form. When you talk to these different individuals, when you go into the prison systems and when you go into these job corps situations, you find so many situations to where these young men and these young women did not have a stable, balanced home upbringing. And that is on us. It truly is on us because the parents were so busy. Daddy was always at work, or mama was with her friends. We have to take accountability on these things, and we have to say, regardless of how our upbringing may have been, we want better for our children. And so it is not the mindset. I want you to get out of this mindset of children are the future. I don't agree with that, my friends, because a lot of time when people say children are the future, they put children on the back burner. We're not putting children on the back burner on our watch. Children are now. That's the type of mindset that we have. If they born now, they're on this earth now. Children are now. They're not the future. Because this is the thing. If they have a mindset to be the president or to be a upstanding person in the community, a doctor, a musician, or somebody that works in the Olympics, or somebody that runs track and field, or whatever it is that they may have the mindset to be, where does that mindset start? It starts now. You're instilling small things in them now. You're teaching them about saying affirmations about themselves. I am smart, I am beautiful, I am cool, I am okay. You're teaching them that now because the world is going to beat them up. The world is going to beat them up, knock them down, chew them up, and spit them out. You, as the parent, have to instill in them because, see, you're not going to be here all the time. You have to instill in them an unshakable attitude. And by doing this, my friends, it's going to help them in the long run. Who knows how far they may go? By buying certain type of books or putting on certain type of videos or instruction things on YouTube and helping them mold themselves to be better young men and better young women. This will help them on their journey, and they'll always remember you for it. You're also protecting them so they can learn about money, finances, because so many of us come up in this era to where we're not learning to invest. How many people have passed away leaving their families nothing? And so you can instill in your children by pulling out a piggy bank to where they can drop money off in the piggy bank. They learning about money. Or you giving them a little small allowance to where they can learn, hey, we're not just buying chips and drink with this money. You may want to get something bigger. You may want to go to the movies. Hey, you want to maybe want to buy a little toy or a watch or whatever it is. I'm teaching you about money. I'm teaching you about investing. And then there are so many things that will, I kind of say it's kind of like a love deposit, so to speak. By investing in them in that way, you're teaching them about love. You're depositing a few little small nuggets here and there in their lives that will soon grow and it will soon blossom. Who knows where it may take them? And I tell you, my friend, you have to also instill in your children a mindset about God. Because I'm going to tell you, when they get out here in these streets, in this world, with this culture that we have, don't matter if you're black or white, blue, brown, turquoise, I don't care what color you are, when you get out in this world, there is an attack on God. And so it's no different when your children go out there and people try to question about their faith. They're going to question them. They're going to come at them in all types of ways to knock them off their pivot. And so you have to instill in them. I like what the Bible says when it says, remember thy creator Notice, in the days of thy youth, remember thy creator right now in the days of thy youth. See, don't wait till you get old to remember God. You remember him right now in the present while you're young. See, because while they're young, they can get to working for the Lord and doing those things that are right now. Instead of starting off young, doing all those things for the devil and doing all those evil things right now, which may lead to them losing their lives at a young age. And I'm gonna tell you, my friends, if you never seen a young funeral or somebody that has been put in the hospital based off of being on these streets, it will mess you up. To see a little casket in front of you, or to see a mother or a father crying because in their mindset, they're older and they're supposed to, their child is supposed to bury them, not them burying their child. It'll rock your whole mindset. And so I don't want that to be you. I want you to be vigilant. I want you to be on your watch. I want you to stand on business. I want you to do what's right. All of these things are a part of your legacy. Your legacy don't start when you die. Your legacy starts right now. If you've been doing it wrong, it's okay. We can get back on track. We're not perfect. Hey, we mess up, we get back up, we try again. God is not through with us yet. We still living, we still moving, we still breathing. Keep this type of mindset, my friends. I hope this helps you as much as it helps me, because I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. And as always, y'all let it be legacy.